Alright, Restream. Do your magic. Video preview. Twitch, you're driving me crazy. Alright, we're not live on Twitch yet. And we're not live on YouTube yet. Okay, give that a minute.
I will briefly go on the social networks to expand our influence. Not that anyone wants to talk about games right now, but we're going to do it.
We will be the lone bastion in the darkness.
Every day I open up Twitter and I'm just like, what happened today, Twitter?
What's going wrong now?
What?
I feel bad for it, but I unfollowed a lot of the news sources I was following.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like that's sticking my head in the sand, but I can't just stay angry.
You're not 24/7.
All of my life, yes.
Speaking of getting angry, this is unrelated.
Yeah, Twitch is not wanting to...
No, like, every time I see a Final Fantasy XII news story, I see there's like three camps of people. One camp is like, hell yeah, Final Fantasy XII, I love it. I'm like, yeah, it's real good. And other people are like, oh, I'll give Final Fantasy XII a shot. I missed it, and I played 10 and 13, but, you know, let's give it a shot. I'm like, yeah, you should. And then people are like, Final Fantasy XII is dumb, it plays itself. And I'm like, like 15 years on, I cannot believe we're still talking about this. Good God.
It's a little upsetting because to me it was like the example that I wish games would look at when they're like, hey, let's make an AI for you to half control and half not control. And like this was like the perfect example of like, can you just copy what they did here with the Gambit system and implement it into your game, because that's exactly what I want when you want AI controlled companions.
And like if you look at Final Fantasy 13, that's way more of a game that plays itself.
For real.
Truth bomb. I feel like people forget that because they remember the linear dungeons of 13, but they forget the actual gameplay because there wasn't a lot of it.
Final Fantasy 13 was the first Final Fantasy I beat because all I had to do was press A.
Yep.
Or whatever that button was.
Or hold A,
over
who knows.
X or whatever, over and over and over and over again. Just whatever, just tap it.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, you could actually, pick your abilities and do stuff. But I was like, but why? When the game was already... when the game does a much better and faster job at doing what I could be doing, why would I opt to do it myself?
Yeah.
I mean, after Final Fantasy 15 got such high praise, I mean, that system honestly reminded me a little bit of 12.
Mm-hmm.
I loved 15.
But I haven't played 12 in forever, so I could be entirely wrong. But yeah, I mean, it was still the same. You had your AI guys. You didn't have a script chart for each character you could edit. And I remember liking Final Fantasy 12's little AI chart or whatever it's called. Why can't I remember the name? Gambit. Thank you. Like, I like their Gambit system better than the Dragon Age Origins system. The Dragon Age Origins ones was confusing as hell for me.
That was like doing like pivot tables in Excel. It's just sort of like I got the numbers right, but I don't know how I did it. The wizard helped me, but you know.
Oh man.
All right.
12 was the closest thing to being like Final Fantasy 11, the online game. It was the closest thing to doing that without actually playing with actual people.
Yeah. Man, I want to play 12 so badly.
Yes, me too.
I actually want to get back into 15, but in the next couple of weeks they're going to have a patch out to fix Chapter 13. And I'm like, well, why don't I just wait for that and then...
Wait for that.
Yeah.
Because that is a terrible chapter. I had I remember Musum was talking about it, and I was like, what chapter was that? And I was just like, I don't remember. And then, like, you said something that clicked in my head. I was like, that chapter was awful.
The garbage chapter.
So long. Susie's going to be so pissed. She has been, for the last week, trying to get through chapter 13.
Oh, man.
I thought that patch wasn't going to come out for like a half year to a year, because I thought they were adding like voice acting and extra story stuff.
It's coming out on like the 21st or something.
It was so buggy. My problem was that it was buggy and slow, but mostly because of the buggy. Because I probably could have just endured the slow, but having a glitch on every screen was, pretty. I was yanking my hair out, going, "Please make this torture."
Yeah.
See, I don't remember any glitches.
You got lucky.
I don't want to spoil it because he'll be going through it, but I had enemies that were undefeatable. Like, you could not actually kill them at all without doing the thing that makes it so that way everything in the room dies, which meant that you had to fill up your MP, but the only way you could fill up your MP was by basically just waiting it out. But the enemies couldn't kill me, so I just stood there in the zone and waited for my MP to regenerate to the point that I could do the AoE kill thing. But I was like, every screen, it was just like, bugged out on me again.
You see, I didn't even know that was... So that did happen to me, but I didn't know that was a bug. I just thought the game was being a prick.
No, that's a bug. That's a bug, because you should be able... Because you get that ability you get has, like, you have several things you can do. You can do the counter thing, the AoE kill thing. I feel like there's another one, and I'm blanking. Whatever. Nothing would work on them besides the AoE kill thing, which required you to get MP back. But you should have been able to do the counter dodge thing. But it was buggy, and that was very upsetting. Okay, that something that should have taken me maybe 30 minutes, because it was a very long section, admittedly, took me like an hour and a half of just like I'm not doing anything but looking at my controller and this screen. Like, that was really upsetting. I'm glad they're fixing that, because I can't imagine how many people suffered what I went through.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No, you don't.
I wonder how many hours it takes to beat that game in Save Game Plus. Because, like, I bet I could beat that in like 20 hours or so. Especially if they... a third of the game is Chapter 13.
Yeah.
At least it feels like it. That's not true. But I bet you could beat it in 20 hours in that Save Game Plus mode. So maybe
I bet you could. I'd like to play that again. Did you see the live stream that the 3 voice actors were doing? They were playing the game.
I did not.
You guys missed Prompto, Noctis, and Ignis sitting on a couch together playing the game. They were doing voice acting, jokes, singing.
Oh, that's fun.
It was
that sounds awesome.
Oh, it was good.
I'll have to look that up.
There's definitely some clips out there. I think the most favorite thing they did was they kept egging Ignis to say that that's it. I discovered a new recipe, like over and over and over. But they also sang "Stand by Me" in a as a group.
Oh, that's
I think
acapella.
Yeah, an acapella kind of. Yeah, it was really nice. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the little video that the guy who did Prompto, where he wished someone a happy birthday or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's probably cute. Part of it. Cause
Well, no, because he, evidently someone wrote him in or something and offered to pay him to just record a quick clip of him in Prompto's voice, and then he just sent him the video and said, no, I have it for free.
That's cool.
So.
Yeah, they're fun guys. It was fun watching them play the game together, trying to fish.
Oh, God, I don't... That's the one thing I'm always going to be... Like, my Prompto, I don't even think it's level 5 fishing. Like, I've caught some things that I don't understand how I caught with that low level fishing, but not my bag. Oh, hey, I just remembered something else I've been playing that I completely forgot about. Now that we're talking about fishing, which probably just immediately limits the options that could possibly be for you guys.
Okay.
Did you install some Skyrim patch for fishing?
No. No, I played a bunch of Persona 4.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
It's been comfort food month, so.
Yeah.
I should honestly do something like that to make myself feel better.
Like, if I could play Chrono Trigger, like the DS version on my Vita, I probably would have been playing that instead. But, like, I'm not sure where my DS is. Wait, it works on 3DS. Well, I'm not sure where my 3DS is. It's probably by my bedside, but it's probably not charged. Point being is there'd be more effort put into that than I felt like doing.
Alright, you guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Musum.
Hey!
And Mina.
Heyo.
Let's just dive right into it. Musum, what have you been playing this past month?
It is, like I was just saying in the pre-show, it is a bit of a comfort food month for me gaming-wise, and with the onslaught of games coming out starting around mid-February, I'm kind of taking it easy on the gaming front, but I have played a lot of Persona 4. I say
Vanilla
a lot.
or Golden?
Golden.
Ah.
Yeah, no. This is a Vita in bed watching Netflix kind of situation.
Nice.
So, yeah, and it's evidently my last save game was at the perfect point because I loaded it up, and then the next day they're like, "No, we're gonna take that trip to Tokyo or whatever the city is where they go, where they get drunk but not really drunk."
Oh, the Persona 3 city?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. That's right, because they meet the that one C-list character from Persona 3.
Oh,
Like
yeah, I don't remember what her name is.
club
Begins with
subordinate
the-
or something.
Yeah, it becomes with an N, the student representative who took over Mitsuru's spot as the
Yeah,
council
that person.
president. Can't remember. No, it begins with a C. It's like Chi something.
yeah. You are on the right path.
She's
I
very
agree.
memorable.
I'm sorry.
Um,
It's been a while.
But yeah, I'm just trekking through that, and I'm starting to dread that I'm not gonna max out too many more relationships this playthrough than I did my first time, and I'm worried that I'm doing the same relationships because you want to do all your party, right? So you'll
Oh, yeah.
have all their special moves, but
I had a lot of fun following a guide once to get all the relationships maxed out. That was surprisingly fun because you get to see a lot of weird stuff where it's like, you know, on this day you need to make sure to decline these 2 invites, but you need to hang out with your study partners, and this will get you a book that you need for another one. It's like, wow, I would have
Oh.
never gotten that, but that was a pretty fun conversation.
weird.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that next playthrough. I don't know. I might see this one through. I forgot about it until just now. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I did the fishing thing and finished out the Fox's quests and
Chihiro. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you,
Techie
Magna
said
Tech in chat.
Thank you.
Chihiro.
that is it. But yeah, no, that's still a really great game.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to all the future Personas. I really hope. I don't know. I kind of hope they make like an HD Persona 3 someday.
Yeah, it'd be nice for more people to play. I think Persona 1 and 2 are good, but I feel like for a lot of people they're going to be too long in the tooth if they've only played 4 and 5. But 3 is close enough that I feel like if they would sort of HDify that, that'd be pretty
Yeah.
good.
I mean, like the PSP game was. I just hated how you didn't have your avatar on the screen walking around. Like
I
that
actually
really
kind of
was.
liked that better.
Oh.
Because you could sort of fly through it, where it's like, oh yeah, I want to talk to the dude that has the devil card. Sure, he's just right over here.
Yeah.
just need
Well,
to make sure they bring over the battle system that they had in the PSP version, because that's the PS4 improved one where the AI combat isn't garbage.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about
Because the original, if you've forgotten, is pretty bad.
that. Yeah, unless you turned off AI control.
oh, I forgot about because they wouldn't let you do that. You had to
Yeah,
rely.
you had to rely
Oh,
purely on
God.
the AI working on its own.
I
You need to get
forgot
healed,
about
right?
that.
It's like, no, I'm full health. I need you to use Bufu.
I didn't forget.
Please.
Because I was so mad because I
Oh.
lost so many times due to AI stupidity.
Man.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and I never played through because I played through the original Persona 3, and
Yeah.
then FES came out, and I didn't play the FES version. I just went straight to the answer, which was miserable.
Bad call.
And then they came out with the PSP one, and the PSP one I think was missing some of the stuff from FES. So
Yeah.
I want them to combine those two versions with the golden and put that out on like PS4 or Vita or something.
Yeah, sort of like fix all the issues with 3 and then put 4 golden and just say like, hey, it's Persona 3/4. Go crazy.
Yeah, exactly. No, don't do 3/4. We aren't doing Kingdom Hearts
I was
numbers.
about to say, I'm doing some Kingdom Hearts.
Persona the 3/4.
We will be lost enough as it is. But yeah. Anyway, still a great game. Played a little bit more of Final Fantasy 15. Really just been doing some quest cleanup, but I won't get to any spoilers. But like after the game like ends story wise, it really took a lot to make myself go back to that game. And it's not because I dislike the ending, but it's that the ending was so kind of final to me that it's real weird going back.
Yeah.
But
It's like going back to high school where you're like, boy, this is a pretty small place. Crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, real great game. I still love it. I don't think I did any quest of notoriety. I think I was just doing generic hunts because I'm worried about accidentally running into that enemy that's supposed to take you 3 days to beat or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. The
And
Final
not
Fantasy
being
12
ready
style
for it.
guy.
Yeah.
Have you found the special dungeon?
Is he in that? I just assumed he was in that and didn't go there.
I don't know because I haven't done the special dungeon.
Okay.
I'm guessing you haven't though, because you would know if you did the special dungeon.
Yeah, I
because
heard it's very different.
Like I didn't even investigate like when I loaded up the game again and went back in, like they were like, here's your upgrade to the car, and also
okay. So you know about the upgrade to the car that I'm not going to talk about, but the car gets upgraded. Okay, so have you done anything with the car to a place that when you normally would not be able to drive your car to the place?
that I haven't tried.
Okay, so then you haven't been to the dungeon. All right, that's all.
Oh, perfect. Well, if that's all I got to worry about, then I am safe because I've just been like, to me, like Final Fantasy 15 makes room for my addiction to my phone. So I will tell them to drive somewhere and then pick up my phone and like update whatever game I'm playing on there. And then they'll get there.
From driving.
And then I'll play, 20 minutes or something and then drive somewhere else. And it's perfect. It's probably really bad. It's like it's encouraging alcoholism or something. But anyway, let's see. I played a tiny bit of Warframe. I think I'm about ready to take another break from it for a while. I don't think I did anything major in the game. I bred a infested Kubro type thing, which for now they're just made look like their charger enemy, and I put a Santa hat on its head, but it doesn't really have a head, so it's just this kind of floating Santa hat. So that's fun. And then let me think. They did kind of when Destiny came out, like a year or two ago, whenever that was. Warframe creators were like, let's throw Destiny into our game. So like they added what they call a Void Trader that comes every 2 weeks that has special items, and
Nice.
they added syndicates, which are, essentially the the factions from Destiny, where you just wear their sigil and you'll gain stuff for them. But so they introduced a weapon that I don't think it's been available before. I could be entirely wrong on this since I took that half year off. But it's called the AK Lex Prime, and allegedly you could only get it from these keys that you got from the Void Trader. So I went and did that, and that was okay. And now I have these two. It's basically like a Space Magnum, like giant pistol gun thing. But anyway, that's all I did in Warframe. I've been trying to play through Tyrrany. I got past the first area. There is a lot to read in that game. I was trying to stream it for a bit, but I'm just not that social a person.
Well, and some of those games are really hard to stream too, because like there's so much text and it's so tiny. You feel like you have to read it, and then that's tiring.
Well, and I don't like emote a lot, or I don't know.
You gotta watch me stream sometime and tell me how I do. I try to get into it and do voices for the characters.
You see, and I can't do voices. I mean, I can try.
Oh, I can't either.
Not good.
Oh, I can't either. Let me tell you, when you have to do a game with 20 different male voices, it's like, I don't have that big of a range, but...
Well, either way, I'm still really enjoying Tyrrany. I'm not super far in it. I think I beat Act 1. I don't remember when the Act divisions divide, but like you kind of go into the game and they give you an edict to deliver, and kind of what that story wraps up actually pretty quick. So I am just past there, and they kind of just turned me loose on the world. They're like, so these two factions now hate each other, and you did this thing, and are you going to betray us? You're not going to betray us, right? Okay. So go over here and figure this stuff out, and so I'm kind of doing that. I got 5 out of the 6 companions so far. I imagine I'm probably pretty close to getting the 6th one. The companion system really is one of my favorite things in the game, because while it's essentially mechanically the same as any other game, the because you're everyone's boss, like literally you serve the monarch of the land, and you have all these people, like it's literally there are moments in the game where like, you want to kill this person or do you want to try and force them to join, because they're now begging for their life, and they're like, you know what, screw it, I'll join you, just live. I don't
You're just
care.
scooping up Pokemon.
Yeah, basically. And so, and on top of that, like, most of them are associated with different factions, so if you make the faction angry, you in turn make them not happy with you too. So it's got a lot of really cool abstraction to it, and I like that each character has that fear and loyalty meter that can both go up at the same time, which is neat, because they get like special abilities when you get to certain points on the meter as well. So that's been a interesting thing. I still have no idea. Well, I kind of have an idea where the story's going, but kind of not as much as I would in most games.
That's an Obsidian game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like you could be like, Chapter 2, everything's going great. Chapter 3, it's like, whoop, nope, everything's totally different. Crap.
Yeah. No, I think this game is like an Alpha Protocol level of how many different divergent storylines and options they have in it. So we will see. Like, obviously it isn't comedic since you work for the bad guy and the bad guy's taking over the world. But like, my understanding is you can do things to create kind of a good path, but I kind of get the impression that there's no such thing as that. And most of the decisions I'm faced with are generally like, okay, I see why you would come to these different conclusions for options, and I still have no idea which one to choose, but I can't, it's not that I'm thinking of something obvious that you're not giving me the answer to,
right,
that I'd rather go with. I think I said that in an overly complex way. But I don't know. That game's real good. It's I really like the graphics in it. I talked about the magic system last time. I'm just finding little like symbols left and right to enhance my guys' different spells, and I like that everyone can use magic and everyone has the same symbols, so you aren't micromanaging that. You're just micromanaging how their spells are put together, and like at any point you can click on one of their spells and adjust the components of it to give a different effect, or if their lore skill went up so they can use kind of more effects with it, you can add on to it. I don't want to spoil the plot or anything, but I have basically unlocked 2 towers at this point, which are kind of your Pillars of Eternity equivalent of your base. And they kind of help you travel around, and they let you build buildings and hire people. So far in hiring people, I have not gotten a maintenance cost, which I'm very thankful for. That was one of, I think, Pillar's downfalls, was that you would hire these guys that you had to have to guard your base, but it would cost you, 50 gold a week or something like that.
So it just seemed like busy work almost.
Yeah. Well, and especially in Pillars, like, there is a finite number of enemies in that game. Like, so it's not like you're just gonna, I don't remember having issue, but I remember, like, and then I need to go beat Pillars sometime. I'm near the end. I may as well just finish that game. But, like, there's going to be a finite amount of gold you get in that game, and therefore you really need to plan your time out accordingly so you don't start having guys abandoning your base. But, anyway, yeah. Tyrrany's really cool. And then, last but not least, I downloaded Fire Emblem Heroes and have been obsessively playing it like the last 2 days.
I think all 3 of us are sort of in the same boat. So I think we can all sort of and follow, hit us up on Twitter, because our friend codes are on there. So send us invites. They do something, apparently. I don't really know what.
I was able to send someone to greet you when you added me, Boston.
Oh, yeah.
It hasn't let me do that since I did that, and then it gave me 5 feathers. I'm not sure what the feathers are for yet.
No idea.
I know.
What do you do with the feathers?
All right, so I know everything about this game because I poured my heart into it. So, first of all, in order to level a unit from a different star to a different star, you have to have a certain amount of feathers. The biggest cost of feathers is leveling 4-star to 5-star, obviously, because 5's the highest, and it costs 20,000 feathers to do that, along with some extra mats.
Sweet
that
giblets.
Right.
Wait, I have 27 feathers.
I was just thinking the same thing. So yes,
20,000 feathers.
20. So if you have a 5-star unit, you should be really grateful to this 5-star unit, because that you can look at that and be like, "Oh, thank goodness I didn't have to farm 20,000 feathers for that one unit." So there's like several ways to get feathers. Obviously, there's the make sure that you have friends, and you can do your daily greeting, which you can only do once a day. And I believe it depends on how many people you have as friends. I just added a bunch of people today, but I believe that there's like a percentage exchange there of friends to feathers. So the more friends you have, the more feathers you get. So ideally, you want as many friends as possible. I friend everyone. I don't care who you are. You're my friend.
Go into the arena and start inviting people.
Right. Oh, that's the other way to get feathers is the arena provides you X amount of feathers depending on how well you do in the arena. I believe you need a score of at least 3,000 to get the maximum of feathers from that. And I didn't investigate too much on when the reset is, or when when you can get your feathers from the exchange. I know it's probably on a weekly thing, I'm guessing.
It seems like it's going to reset on Sunday, if I remember the timer. So
you definitely want to make sure you have a score of like 3,000 plus in there, and you get points for both defensive and your offensive victories. So make sure that the first party you have in your team slot is the one that's going to be your defensive castle army thing. I haven't had anybody actually fight me, but regardless, still set that up, because anything you get towards making that number is worth. The other way you get feathers is when you dismiss characters. Depending on what star you dismiss them at, you will get feathers in exchange. It does not work out that, like, if you level a unit up, you get more feathers for it. It's purely how many stars they are. So, like, a 1-star unit probably only gives you, like, 5 feathers.
Right.
So, it's a very poor exchange. And then, I don't know if this is true, because I haven't experienced it yet, but if you replay missions, supposedly you get rewards for replaying missions, and supposedly sometimes they could be feathers.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not. So those are how you get feathers. The other material that you need comes from some sort of reward. I know for a fact that you can get them from the training grounds. Like right now, the reward for doing different tiers of the training grounds gives you the different tiers of the
like
I don't know what they're
keys
called.
or sigils
Keys,
or something?
badges, something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
You need like 20 of them plus your feathers in order to raise somebody to the next star level. So there's that. And then to add on to this craziness, the other thing you can do is you can fuse same units together for stat bonuses, but if you fuse, like, let's say you have a 5-star and you want to fuse a 4-star into it, you're not going to get the stat bonuses. All you're going to get is the SP, which is what you use to equip skills, which isn't really worth doing. So you want to make sure that when you fuse things together, you have your 5-star and another 5-star, and you fuse them together. So you're thinking, I can be smart about this, and I'll do a 3-star and a 3-star because that's a lot better. However, once you raise something from a 3-star to a 4-star, you lose all of the fusion bonuses that you had. So the only fusion you want to do is a 5 to a 5. Like, realistically speaking.
So basically, I'm not going that deep on Fire Emblem Heroes. that's what I'm hearing.
It's pretty intense. I'm hoping that they either make this easier or they pull back on some of this stuff. Or, well, it's basically like, in my mind, because you can only have 4 units on the field, there's never really a need to have, like, 2 of the same. Like, you don't really need 2 sword, red units on the same field. You can, but it's kind of like you really want that balance of red, blue, green, or...
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things about Heroes that I like is for anybody that hasn't played it, it's actually a really good introduction to Fire Emblem, because it's really only 4 people on your team and 4 people on the other team. And there's not a lot of complicated stuff going on. It's really move and attack. If you're a healing party member, it will heal the person you're targeting. And then they do have the rock, paper, scissors system back, where it's like red beats blue and blue beats green, and etc.
Yeah.
And I think that, for me, is one of the strongest parts of Heroes, is if you don't know whether or not you'd like Fire Emblem, Heroes is a really good, easy introduction to, do you think you'd like an SRPG? It's not the most complicated version of it.
Yeah.
But it is a really good introduction, and it's free. So you don't have to drop, potentially $40 on a Fire Emblem game on your 3DS and then be like, well, I don't like strategy RPGs. This is terrible.
Yeah, I haven't put a dime into it, and I'm on like chapter 8 or 9. Kind of what I got about from your informative facts that you just dished out, Mina, was that I am never going to do that, and I am only going to play story missions to get like 20 of the orb things to summon, and then when I get the 5-star version, I'll just scrap the old one in the old meat grinder for parts or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like I said, I haven't seen the whole exchange go down, but I have been trying to like. I have a 3-star male Robin, I believe. Yeah, male Robin, and I would really like him to be a 5-star very badly because I have encountered a 5-star male Robin and that guy is a beast, and I want him on my team so badly, but it's like
So Kostamal in chat actually asked a good question. Free to play or free to start like Mario Run? This appears to be free to play. There's no ads. There's no nothing. You can buy like orbs to summon people. You can spend money to refill your stamina. You can spend your money to refill the swords or whatever it is for the arena. But at no point does it ever. At no point it's sort of like, all right, you got to chapter 3 now. $10. Thanks.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's actually free to play.
I've gotten I'm on lunatic difficulty now.
Oh jeez.
Jeez,
I'm on like chapter 3.
No. You gotta go through normal mode, then hard mode, then I'm in lunatic. I don't remember what chapter I am in lunatic, maybe like 3 or 4.
I started hard, but I haven't even attempted lunatic yet.
Well, it's kind of interesting because what happened when I was playing was I made it to like chapter 8-1 or whatever, and I found that my team was not good enough to beat 8-1. So then I switched the difficulty to hard and went back to the first chapter, and then just tore through the first chapter. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna play the hard difficulty until I hit a wall where I'm like, yeah, I can't complete hard anymore, and then I'll just jump back to normal and go finish 8-1, and that's how I was able to like crush that. So
I guess I'm at 8-3, so I guess I didn't run into that problem, but I did a few of the hard missions before then just because I was curious, and my guys seemed to meet the level requirements. Like my main team is all like level 19 and 20 for the most part.
Jeez, I'm like level 8. I got some catching up to do, man.
Well, and like
you can free stamina things, stamina potions, Boston.
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of another mobile game that I'll talk about, so I haven't. That's been my priority. When I run out of stamina in that game, then I usually go over to Heroes.
I see.
Well, and stamina seems like it regenerates pretty quick, though. Like
yeah, and I think they said during the first couple weeks, stamina costs are cut in half. So like the further you can push through that.
For the training grounds, it's cut in half, which is why I've been hitting the training grounds like crazy.
Smart,
because.
Well,
go ahead.
I was about to say, they also, evidently there's a stamina cost associated with equipping skills.
Yes.
And evidently that is removed for the moment.
Oh.
Like, the stuff they have removed for the beginning of the game sounds kind of scary, like, to be honest with you. Like, they're going to add it in, and then I'm not going to want to play it anymore.
So, what I can tell, I believe when you are learning, then equipping a skill, there's no stamina cost, but if you were to, like, okay, I had Gale Force equipped, but now I want to equip Astra, that's going to be a stamina cost.
Okay.
Because you already have them both, but you're swapping them, and I don't know how intense of a cost it's going to be because we've not yet seen it.
Right.
But I don't think learning and equipping will cost you anything.
That would be okay then.
Because I actually went into the menu to equip, and it actually pops up your stamina bar so that way you can see it, and I'm like,
wait a minute.
I believe this is where it costs you.
That would make a little more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so far, it seems really good. At the very least, if you've never played a Fire Emblem game, or especially if you've never played an SRPG before, download it and try it out. It's a pretty good SRPG, and it starts you out easy enough, and the story is light enough that I feel like it's a good intro class to SRPGs. And then go play Final Fantasy Tactics.
That is true. Another thing on Fire Emblem real quick. Mina, you said earlier that you generally want one of each color. And while I
generally
mostly agree with that, like what I found, there were a few fights that I had to look at the enemy's colors, and then I had to line up their opposition in the right team slots so that the character that would have the weakness for that character would be there. And sometimes they'll send 2 or 3 reds or blues or something at you, and which
Like-
time you need to adjust accordingly, you know?
I've opened a map once that had 4 greens on it. So bringing on a 4 green map, bringing any blues is a bad idea. It's just
Yeah.
a bad idea. But what I also did was sometimes it's kind of like if there's 4 greens, if I bring my really strong red, I can just kind of sit my red in the middle of the field, and those 4 greens just run up and try and kill the guy and do like literally no damage, and they just go poof, I'm dead because I ran up on your red colored sword, dude.
Oh man, I'd have to look up her name, but I have this red that has like I don't know, some samurai sword or something, and she doesn't seem to wear armor. She's just in kind of a robe type thing, but she is like the most awesome character I have. Maybe I should just look up. Her name's like Hina or like...
so yeah, there's...
Lynn. I'm completely wrong. Her name
Oh,
is
you have
Lynn.
Lynn! Yes! Yes, okay, Lynn is actually one of the top tier characters in the game. I have her
Nice.
too, and she's really good. She's the one that learns both Astra and Gale Force, actually, that I was talking about. That I was saying you'd have to pay to like change later on.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I like the sounds of Gale Force, but I also really like the sounds of Astra. It's really hard to decide which one of those two I'd prefer. Because the way they work isn't true to how the actual game worked for Gale Force and Astra, because it seems like the proc is like after X amount of turns has passed, then they can use that ability.
Yeah.
I believe Astra only takes 4 turns, whereas Gale Force takes 5. So I kind of like Astra more because it happens more times.
Yeah, it actually happens because a 5-turn.
That's a long time.
That's a long match.
But on the other point, if you have Gale Force, then you get to attack twice, whereas Astra is like a really strong single target thing. So your mileage may vary depending on what you're looking for.
I haven't really dug. Like honestly, I just click learn skill and then I don't even really read most of them.
Yeah.
Like
skill, yes. Equip, yes.
I've started trying to read them because now I have a character that can seemingly teleport next to my other friendly characters. So I'm trying to be cognizant of characters who have that option because that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry. That's all I got on Fire Emblem.
That's okay. Fire Emblem's really good.
That is all I've been playing. So how about you, Mina?
What have you been hopefully enjoying this past month?
Well, I had a little bit of a medical scare, so I've been kind of not doing anything for like 2.5 weeks or something like that.
Getting some R&R.
Yeah, getting lots of R&R. However, once I got back into playing games, I've been streaming Twilight Princess, which is not an RPG, but still a really good game. Mostly because I want the amiibo for the Switch and Breath of the Wild, because you can have Wolf-Link travel along with you if you get that amiibo and things set up. So, dog companion, that's got to be a seller.
That's the RPG weakness,
right? Dog companion. So, skipping over that, I've been playing also Fire Emblem Heroes, and the other game that I've been playing aside from that is Tales of Bersaria.
Ooh.
Game just released recently.
I want to play this so badly.
So I have not yet beaten Zestiria, and I am now playing Bersaria. I'm being very careful to not mix these two up.
Right.
So when I was and please do not crucify me for what I'm about to say. When I was playing Zestiria, I found that there was something about that game I was not completely 100% enjoying and proceeding to play that game.
Yeah.
Whereas when I took a step into Bersaria, I am very attached to playing this game. And it took me a little bit to figure out what exactly this random, what is the recipe ingredient that's making me want to play Bersaria that wasn't there in Zestiria. And I think I finally nailed it. I think I finally got it. It
Okay.
took me a bit. So I think it all boils down to the main story and the linear path that is urging me to play. That happens in Bersaria. Zestiria feels very open, and
Right.
it's got a good story, but the problem is the story doesn't feel to have like, I don't have that sense of urgency to do something.
Right.
So there's no real call to action to do anything. There's no reason that says like, oh man, this thing just happened in this world and I need to go help this person, or I need to go save this person, or you're watching like something crumble around you and you're just like, oh man, you set the game down and you walk away from it, and the rest of the day in your head you're thinking, man, I need to get back and I need to go, stop whatever this crumbling disaster is happening. It feels like the urgency is so far away in that game that you don't feel, I guess the story just doesn't feel very well paced.
Yeah, I finished Zestiria and
okay, so
and I felt the same way the whole time. I feel like Zestiria it's not a bad game, but that's certainly not one of the games I would recommend somebody start out with if they're interested in Tales, because it's fine, but it's not the shining star of Tales. And I've heard that from a couple people about Bersaria, and I've heard also that Bersaria is connected to Zestiria in some way.
It is.
So I thought that was
no spoilers.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about why. And it's not, for anybody that's interested in Bersaria, apparently it's not like, okay, you have to go play this one and then that one. It's just sort of like, there's some stuff where it's like, right, Zestiria, okay.
I think it would, I think because I have knowledge of Zestiria, it makes the spice of Bersaria better. But it's by no means a requirement. And I'm thinking once I finish Bersaria, I might actually enjoy Zestiria. I may appreciate it and actually play it.
Right.
So I think you would actually get the full enjoyment out of Bersaria that I may be missing out on. But what I can say about Bersaria is this game has really good pacing, like really good storytelling. They set up the game so nicely. The thing that I really loved about the Persona games, especially with 3 and 4, is even though you have that really long intro of the game where you don't really get to play or whatever, what the game is actually doing at the start is kind of building a story for you to like get involved with, so you kind of get attached or involved with some characters, so that way the story kind of lends itself a really nice entry for the rest of the story to creep in on you.
Right.
And I feel like Bersaria sets up the story quite nicely in the first few minutes that kind of really urges you to do stuff, whereas when I played Zestiria, the first few minutes of that game were not terribly exciting. I'm trying to remember.
Like the first hour of that game is a little sleepy. We're on that island and everyone's chilling, and
it's so slow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of when it actually speeds up.
It speeds up when that guy like teleports in and he's like, "Hey, I found all these people and I'm gonna eat them all." And it's like, "Wait, what?" He's like a demon, and they're like, "Hey, the demons have shown up." It's like, wait, what's happening?
Oh, that's right. I feel like that game had like a lot of like, boom, something happens, and then a real long period of nothing, and then boom, something happens, and then a long period of nothing. Yeah. Whereas Bersaria has like something kind of eating away at you the entire time. That's just like, you better hurry because I'm just swallowing you up the longer you just stand around here.
In Zestiria, did you ever go into the water temple?
Yes.
Okay. I'm
sorry.
Yeah, it's easily one of my least favorite RPG dungeons of all time. It's so for anyone that hasn't played it, I'm gonna bag on it again. It will teleport you if you step on the wrong tiles, and without a fact, I genuinely wouldn't have known what the wrong tiles are. And when I say it teleports you, it brings you back to the entrance of the dungeon, even if you're like 20 minutes of careful navigation through it. It's
I
horrible.
figured it out, but it was very upsetting.
Mm-hmm. So bad.
It was more or less like trial and error, and then I finally got it, and I was like, okay, I've got you, but I'm pretty not happy with you.
Yeah.
I don't know, and there's nothing like, I think Zestiria has a fine story, and I like a lot of the characters, most of them.
They're
I
fine.
don't think I have anybody I hate outright, but I think that when you start playing Bersaria, you will have a very different opening experience, and for at least how long I've played, it feels very. I got way more attached to these characters than I did with Zestiria.
Yeah.
Way more attached. They are very flawed characters, which is kind of a nice thing to have. Characters with flaws are much more relatable. And I don't know. Bersaria is really good. I recommend it over Zestiria.
Yeah.
And there will be some Tales fans coming after me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Zestiria is fine. It's just not the highlight.
It's not, but I still like them both. It's just Bersaria way better. I really didn't play the other games. I did try to play a little bit of some Skyrim recently, but I am having a Musum problem, and I'm trying to like figure out which mod it is. I've been like turning things off and turning things on. I'm just like, one of you is not interacting with the other one, and so I'm just it's me trying to suss out what is broken.
So are you doing this on the normal version, or have you attempting the special edition?
So, okay, I want to have a talk with Bethesda on this. Okay, I know they really want the special edition thing to work. I know it's probably got like amazing things going for it, but it
Stop
has
trying to
like
make it happen.
they bungled so many mods by doing this, and not
That's
everybody
crazy.
has like decided, oh, I'm going to make my mod work for the special edition, or some of them are like, it'll be like 5-6 months and we'll get it done, it'll just take us a couple months, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
and I don't know, because of that whole ordeal with the special edition, a lot of people who are working on their old mods to work for the special edition one
jeez.
have stopped fixing the ones for the regular one.
Man, I didn't think about that part.
Oh,
because
God.
they're not working on the regular one, things aren't working properly with the
The pain.
regular one because they're too busy.
Stop the
one, I'm
pain.
like, guys, why did we need this special edition?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's thrown all these modders into like chaos. And so
Man.
it's like, maybe I'll come back to Skyrim 2 years from now when everybody's gotten their mods updated to
Everything's
the special
fixed.
one. And
I'll say,
everything will be fixed.
I'm not touching special edition until I think SKSE is supposed to release in March or something
Yes!
like that.
So that's like the number one thing, right? Because like a lot of mods depend on that to work. So, but the thing is because people have already moved on to that, I'm running into so many mods that just won't work anymore. And like the content creators like, sorry guys, I know you want me to fix this mod, but I'm pouring all of my hours and time into this new one, and I ain't getting paid to do this, so
Right.
I don't have any incentive to go work on that one. And I'm just like,
Man.
no.
Jeez.
I just want to play Skyrim, and vanilla Skyrim is not Skyrim. Not anymore.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, once you've tasted the luxury of mods.
Right? So, I mean, I attempted to play Skyrim, but I think I will have to spend some tireless hours, because I did spend like probably 14 hours trying to make a bunch of mods work, and it was just like, okay, I'm really gonna have to turn each individual mod on, go directly to where this mod is supposed to take place, see if it's functional, and I'm got spreadsheets open and writing like, okay, this is working, and then turn another mod on and see if that one works with that one, and if it doesn't, see which ones it will work with, and I'm just like,
Jeez.
it's like I'm because I'm not savvy enough to actually go and look at the code with my own two eyes and see if something's wrong there. So it's all got to be play test.
But this might be your opportunity to start learning that stuff.
Listen.
Yeah? You don't need another hobby.
Listen.
There's only 24 hours in a day. Come on.
There's only so many hours, and the rest of it I got to dedicate to streaming again. So, unfortunately, this is like a side project because nobody wants to watch me play Skyrim modded edition.
Man,
on Twitch.
now hearing you talk about this makes me wonder if like Skywind has just been like thrown in the trash now out of like anger.
Well,
like,
I don't know what to say because the thing is like even if let's say you had like a perfectly working mod, let's say your mod has everything right, but let's say somebody else updated their mod, but now yours won't work with their mod, but you're too busy on something else. That mod's gonna stay broken because you're too busy working on the new one because this other guy updated the mod for regular version, and then they're just clashing over here and making me angry.
yeah.
So, I don't know what to say other than, that's how mods work.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't been playing anything. So, what have you been up to, Boston?
The only other RPG I've been playing this month is actually I got to give credit to PSN user Mental Case. Sent me a very generous gift of Yakuza 0.
Nice.
A game I've greatly been looking forward to playing. I have always wanted to play the Yakuza games, and I own Yakuza 1, and I tried to play it back on the PS2, and for some reason I just bounced off of it. I think because when Sega brought Yakuza 1 to the US, they did a really good job of convincing everybody it was an open-world game like Grand Theft Auto. And that couldn't be more wrong. It is a very small-scale beat-em-up JRPG. And Yakuza 0 is really good. So basically it's a prequel to the other Yakuza games and set in the 80s. And I get the impression that the main character is your main character from the other Yakuza games, but I'm purposely going into 0 without knowing any of that stuff, so I can sort of get some sort of fresh view on it. Yakuza 0 it really is just a beat 'em up JRPG, and for every guy that you successfully beat up, they drop like 30,000 yen, and you use that money to upgrade your skills. So far, I've gotten 2 different fighting styles. One is a real like heavy, slow brawler style, and that is primarily focused on hitting guys hard and defending. And the other one is, I think it's called Rush, and that's very much a let's punch and kick guys very quickly to keep them staggered and dodging, as opposed to defending. I've gotten through the prologue and I've gotten through the first chapter, and I am 100% in love with this game. I didn't really expect it to be, and I'm sure Yakuza fans will laugh, I didn't expect it to be so dramatic. And apparently that's Yakuza, and I am 100% in love with it. It's like a Yakuza-tinged soap opera, and I'm totally down for that. A lot of dudes ripping shirts off and showing Yakuza tattoos and yelling at each other for not keeping the family in mind and sullying the family name. And within the first 15 minutes, your main character gets framed for murder, and you have to go figure out who framed you and what is, clear your name and clear the family name. Somebody's asking me if I'm ascending to heaven. No, just can't get the sun right in here. I'm really surprised at how good Yakuza 0 is and how much crazy. It seems to be a hallmark of the series that there's a small part of Tokyo that you're sort of bombing around in, and how much stuff there is in there. One of the first things the game has you do is sing karaoke, and it is a pretty intense rhythm game where about halfway through, you and your karaoke partner are in like this dream state and on stage with guitars and pyrotechnics and a full band, and it is... I know there's Sega arcade games I haven't played yet. I know there's like UFO catcher stuff that I haven't run into yet. I could go into a convenience store and just look at magazines. That was great. And then I basically ran into 2 dungeons, and the second dungeon was this office building, and I basically destroyed like 50 dudes on my way through the dungeon, and at the end of it, kicked a dude out of a window. Yakuza 0 is really good. It's not that hard to play, and it's not that hard to figure out any of the systems early on, and I give Sega a lot of credit. Not only is it a beautiful game, the soundtrack is great, the character models are outstanding. I don't know how they pulled that off on the PS4. Somehow it's 60 frames a second, which is really, really great. They do a really good job of explaining how all of these characters are sort of intertwined, because there's like 3 or 4 Yakuza families that report to another one, but it never really feels like someone pops in and you're like, wait, who the hell is this dude? Like, here's another Yakuza boss? Like, what's going on? I give them a lot of credit for managing to introduce everybody really nicely. Yakuza 0 is really good. I'm genuinely surprised, because I thought I would enjoy it, and nearly immediately it impresses, and as soon as you start fighting dudes, you're like, okay, yeah, this is great. This is just a beat-em-up RPG that is just going to get deeper and deeper, and I'm 100% into that. So I think the timer in the game says I played about 9 hours, but I think about 4 of that has been it just being paused, like while I'm feeding the baby. And I think I've gotten through the prologue and the first chapter, and so far it's really great. So if you have a PS4, maybe you want to try that out. It seems really good. But other than that and Fire Emblem, that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break. All right, I will be right back. I'm going to go check on what's happening downstairs.
Okay.
Boop.
Hello, chat.
About to say, I'm going to go see if I can greet anyone in Fire Emblem.
I know it's a daily thing, so if you've already greeted someone, and you might have done it by accident,
well, I did it yesterday, so...
Define yesterday. Would you say 1 a.m. is yesterday?
I mean, I think it was like yesterday afternoon or something.
Okay, then you should be able to do it again.
I must have just accidentally done it or something. I don't know.
I've definitely we'll know for sure the next time. I believe if you talk to like the bottom person. Okay, hold on, let me.
Does that count as a greeting?
Yeah, if you talk to like the bottom person in the morning when they first pop up, it'll auto greet basically, I believe, because that's what happened to me this morning.
Okay, that must have happened then.
Yeah, it's very easy to accidentally greet. Hi. I really like it because this is actually so Brave Exvius requires a lot of effort on my part to play. Like, it takes up the most of my time. I guess that's my Marvel Heroes for you guys. Fire Emblem is really kind of quick and easy. Oh, see, look. I'll show you. It's probably impossible to see, but that lunatic right there has nothing but 4 greens.
Oh,
see it?
oh, weird. What? Right.
Yeah, so that lunatic has 4 greens. 3 of them are casters, and 1 of them's an axe user. So what I can actually do is I'll probably bring in my team that has 2 reds, 1 green, and a healer. And honestly, I can probably just let them stand there and like not worry about them getting hurt, because there's no way the green casters will hurt any of my red users, and they will lightly tap my my Camilla, who I could just heal. So I have no worry about doing that particular lunatic difficulty. No ranger. They can't stop me. Can't stop me.
Seeing, I battled some people. I guess. Well, my battle stuff hasn't restored yet. I assume that restores daily.
1 a.m. my time.
Okay.
Central.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I'm in
Eastern.
Central.
Okay. So 1 a.m. you'll get it. If you have notifications, it'll let you know at 1 a.m. Be like, your swords have returned.
I really got to like an app to let it have notifications. That is, I get too many of those as is. Man, that sucks about I got a lot of 4 stars I like, and my last pack didn't give me a freaking gold. It just gave me some 4 stars. So
there's several different ways you can choose to summon. For like me, the way I do it is when I open up the summoning menu thing where I can see the 5 elements. If I already know that, like, if I okay, let me go to there it is. Okay, so for the summon heroes on the focus legendary heroes, I know that there are 3 units that are red and 1 of them that's blue. So I already know that, like, the only colors that will be a guaranteed 5-star that's like really, really good are going to be the reds and that 1 blue. Or if I go to the summoning heroes of deep devotion, that's a red colorless green. So there's no blue that's worth unlocking on that one. Your odds of getting anything really good are kind of like lower. So if I'm aiming for a specific color and I open it up and I only see like 1 of the color that I want, like I only have 1 red, but that's the color I'm looking for, I'll open up that 1 red and then I'll just back out. I won't put any other orbs down for the other colors, because the odds of getting one of the really good ones that I want is kind of really low. So it's kind of that's my method of opening these.
interesting.
And it's worked out for me so far because I have a pretty good lineup.
Well, I've only opened, I think, 3 packs. In the first 2, I got a gold in each one, I think. Or did it start you out with a gold? I don't remember how that worked.
No, you just got lucky with the gold. I know
Gotcha.
you have Lucina and Lynn, so you have 2 reds, the 2 2 sword users. What's really nice about your Lucina is that she has Wormbane on her sword, so she'll take out anybody who's a dragon user.
Oh, nice.
Pretty handily. Yeah, so she's not just a sword user, she's also a worm killer.
I will say, I wish their sorting tool worked a bit better than it does. Like, I don't know if you've messed with that at all.
I have my team sorted by levels.
Well, like, if you select something else, it doesn't rearrange them, you know?
Oh.
Or at least mine doesn't rearrange any of them. It just changes what you're seeing on them.
Like sword order, you have sword order like obtained, origin type, move type, rating, attack, defense, favorite, rarity, weapon type, level, HP, speed, and resistance.
I say that. I guess it does arrange them, but it doesn't seemingly, like, if I choose level, the first one is not my level 20. Like, my first row reads 19, 17, 20, 19.
Oh, you have it. Okay, so you have them in your party. That's the order you have them in your party. So they're going to show up here. I'll show you.
Okay, so So you're saying the first 4 are my party, and
Yeah,
then
see how they
okay.
match? Their levels aren't in that order though. My healer's the lowest level there. My highest level is
Jeez,
the second girl.
you have 4 golds,
I know,
man.
right?
I gotta catch up.
No, that's just being lucky.
I'm really worried about like, because I could see like getting through lunatic difficulty, like in these 9 chapters, like
Mhm.
by the end of next week. Like how do we earn those orbs after that?
I know right now they're having a campaign where every day you log in, you get 2 orbs.
Hmm.
And there's also like, have you done the missions, the fountain missions?
The special maps ones.
So hold on. If you're on your main page, there's like a fountain in the bottom right corner, and then there's quests. So you
Oh,
can have
right.
shards and crystals, and the February quests. So like the difficulty on the February quests go from normal, hard to lunatic. I'm on lunatic, and I can get 5 orbs for killing level 35 plus armored foes. I need
Oh,
to kill
wow.
15 of them. But
Okay.
I believe so. If I calculate that right, I believe that's 15 orbs from your monthly doohickey mobobbies.
Gotcha.
But like I said, I don't have the full extent of knowledge on how this is all going to play out. But at
Yeah,
least,
that helps.
yeah, that does help. So there's 15 orbs there. If they continue the trend of 2 orbs every day, that's like 60 plus orbs plus 15 a month.
Hey, which faction did you say that most of the Reds were in? Was that Legendary Heroes?
Oh, so let's see. Yeah, Legendary Heroes has 3 reds and 1 blue.
Okay. So I'm gonna focus on Deep Devotion for a bit until I get. So I have a lot of good 4-star guys, but like I feel like. I mean, I guess they're still good right now, but I know they're gonna reach a cap, and then I'm gonna need 20,000 feathers.
It's diversity that really helps you out. But if you get like a 5-star right off the bat, like that unit's worth taking all the way to cap and keeping them. That's a lot of effort.
Is there a cap?
I'm level 37 on one of my units. I'm guessing that 40's got to be the cap. They've got to cap out. They can't just go forever. I'm guessing 40's the cap. Yeah, but the elements play into basically what type of unit you're getting. Like a blue is always going to be a lancer or a blue magic caster. Your uncolored is always going to be your archers or a healer. So like you can kind of like choose your destiny a little bit on basically what you need for your team. So I'm actually like the things that I would want is an archer or a blue caster or a blue lancer. Those are the 2 that I want. So normally when I open up that summoning window, if I don't see reroll until you get a bunch of OP units. Admittedly, I did do that. I rerolled until I had a decent selection. I had Camilla, female Corinne, male Robin, but the male Robin was only 3-star and the female Corinne was only 4-star. I got a healer of Sarah, Serra, cleric. Never heard of her. Who else did I got those? 1, 2, 3. Who was my 5th? I do not remember who my 5th was. I can look probably.
What do the hearts by their names mean?
Oh, so the way that you have by default, anytime you summon something that's 4-star or higher, it's going to automatically put a heart, so that way you don't accidentally
okay.
sell it. It's a favorite. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember reading that. I just thought it might have been something else, but
No, that's just.
because I noticed like the other day, like someone had a skill that they could only get if another character was there or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find that again. I'm not going to find that quickly either, am I? Okay, like Lynn, you... Oh no, Astra's a skill. Okay, that's what you were talking about earlier. Okay,
Yeah.
Never mind, I'm crazy.
This is actually a pretty nice Fire Emblem game to start out on. I agree with Boston on that. Not that hard to like kind of jump into.
It's such a great phone game. I really like it for that. Like, it's made me a little bitter about Avengers Academy, actually.
I don't
Not
play
that
Avengers Academy, so
It's not a real game.
I believe it is a real game.
I mean, it's an app that you can install on your phone and then you click on things and wait. But I mean, there's little to no strategy to it. Like, some people on the Reddit have invented like some sort of like trying to do the strategy. But the thing is all the developers read the Reddit. So any strategy they come up with to deal with their mission board, the developers will rebalance the mission board and counter because it's not supposed to be there, you know? So,
I mean, there's like some people have some valid complaints about this game in terms of like the combat being kind of too easy, but or like basically it's a one and done sort of thing. But the thing is if we were doing like true Fire Emblem phone game battles or whatever, it might take like 10-15 minutes to go true Fire Emblem style, which I feel is like way too much time to invest into like a mobile game, like to like have your complete time absorbed by 15 minutes of careful strategy moving. That's a little too much.
I
So
agree.
I feel like they had to find like some happy balance here, and this is what they did.
Sorry about that, guys. Somebody was
problem.
angry and hungry.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm getting there too. It's now 5 o'clock. I've been up for, I don't want to say how many hours. Ugh. Alrighty. Are you guys ready to bang this out? We don't have any tweets, but we do have an email. So it shouldn't take super long.
All right.
Okay.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk RPG releases for February 2017, starting off with Knights of Azure on the PC on the 7th. This seems to keep, it was out on the PS4, and out on the Vita, and now out on the PC. Probably something I should check out, but, I don't know where I'm going to find the time. Neo is the best we can figure out how to pronounce that. That's Team Ninja's new Dark Souls-esque sort of third-person RPG, hacky-slashy, coming out on the PS4 on the 7th. The more coverage I see of this game, the more people seem to really be digging it, so might be one to watch out for.
I'm curious, but like I read Polygon and Jim Sterling's review, and between those, I'm like, that sounds like a really good game that I don't ever want to put the time into learning.
yeah, that's sort of the bad part of it, is that, how steep is the learning curve, and
it sounds super intense, like, because they were describing like 10-minute battles where if you faltered for even a moment, then you had to start it over, like you were dead.
That sounds so good, but frightening. Man. Berserk and the Band of the Hawk comes out PC, PS4, and Vita. I forgot to write down the date, so it's between the 7th and the 20th. I really want that game to be good because I really love Berserk, and I would like to play a Dynasty Warriors / Musou game. And that seems like a pretty good, 101 on them.
Most of their anime games I've really enjoyed. Like I think I have all of the Gundam Dynasty Warriors, but the latest one, or I don't know. I know I'm missing one of the Gundam Dynasty Warriors, and like those are, I mean, as games they're pretty mediocre, but as fans of the anime or as someone who wants to catch up on the storyline, it's a great Cliff Notes version,
Yeah.
So like the Bleach game, I actually thought was pretty good in general that they did. I'm pretty sure they did that one. If they didn't do it, then someone ripped off their formula and made Dynasty Warriors.
And that
Bleach
game was good.
Yeah, it made me feel like Bleach had an ending, and it like started right where I stopped watching the anime.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this will do the same on Berserk.
Yeah. On the 28th, Torment Tides of Numenera comes out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. This is basically Black Isle Studios, right?
This is InXile.
Oh, okay.
So the guys who did Wasteland 3 did this. I mean, they did, like on the Kickstarter, a lot of their stretch goals were to add to the writing team. So you have people like Chris Avalon and...
right.
I forget. His name is the only name I ever remember. Probably because I met him very briefly at Dragon Con. But, yeah, they have some of the old people who worked on that game there, and Brian Fargo, who heads InXile, used to be the head of Interplay, who I think published that. Like, there's a lot of roots, I think, with the original team.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, there's like a lot of connective tissue between the old, much beloved game and then this newer one.
Yeah,
in some way. And last but not least, I Am Setsuna gets a second shot on the Switch on the 3rd. I don't know if this has a physical edition. I'll look it up really quick. Because the PS4 version did not. I don't see one for Switch, so it might just be another digital only. But that game was supposed to be okay. So, if you're getting a Switch, you've got a pretty good sort of Chrono Trigger JRPG to play day one. And speaking of the Switch, Nintendo had a big Switch announcement live stream thing that was kind of crazy overall. But they did talk about a couple of JRPGs during that. First was surprisingly Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and not Xenoblade Chronicles X2, which is surprising. I'm surprised they're going back one to make a sequel. They showed a trailer. They have some screenshots. It looks like Xenoblade Chronicles. Main character seems to have a cool red sword, and it seems like it's pretty big and has good music. So I don't know what else you want out of that, but that makes me pretty happy.
Rest assured, I'm sure they will say Monado every 15 minutes, just like in the original.
Nine time.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. I'm excited that Monolith Soft is making more of those. Those are solid RPGs. I just don't know if it will have a lot of mechs in it because it's not an X game.
Maybe it'll be because, like, I have a friend who played Xenoblade Chronicles X a whole bunch, like way more than I did. And, like, I really got the impression, like, the story was not very strong in general in that game. Whereas Xenoblade Chronicles, like, that game was entirely about stories. So maybe they're kind of refocusing back on a story, and maybe that's why they're going to the first one instead.
Right.
That's what I'll hope.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I liked more.
Yeah.
Do what?
I'm just trying to start fights everywhere. I like the first one more.
Yeah.
First one was really good.
I need to go back and see it.
Yeah. One of these days. During retirement, we'll bring out the old Wii U, dust it off. Sorry, the Wii. Sorry. Atlas announced a new Shin Megami Tensei for the Switch being made on Unreal Engine 4, which is all sorts of crazy. They showed a short teaser trailer where it was basically like, here's a bunch of demons, here's a gold dude, SMT. So
I was super excited when that. I was sitting there with a bunch of people talking about it, and they're like, "What game is this? What game is this?" And we're all watching, and like the little bit of the A popped out. I'm like, "That's Atlas!" I screamed at the top of my lungs. I'm like, "How do you know it's Atlas? It's just like a little
it's the Atlas A.
a swish." I'm like, "That's the Atlas A. I know it anywhere."
And then
like,
Jack Frost comes out, and you're like, "All right, whatever it is, I'll take it."
I'll buy it. Money. There's Mara in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somehow.
I heard that. That's
That's pretty good.
at a Nintendo conference of all places.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Nintendo Japan, so
That's true. It's a
I'm
little
sure
looser.
Nintendo America would have cropped that one out.
Probably. Just put a bikini on it.
They just cover up the cleavage in it and move on.
Yeah,
right?
we're good. So whatever that's going to be, pretty pumped. I'm also pumped about the Bravely Default team is at it again. They're working on a game that I'm hopeful is just a working title. It's titled Project Octopath Traveler because we threw a bunch of darts at a board and those are the 3 words that came up. This looks kind of weird because it's like a 2D side-scrolling. It almost looks like the old Saga games, like Saga Frontier and some of the old SNES Saga games. There's not really a lot of it other than here's a couple of people walking through a town and some concept art. But the Bravely Default team made one really good game and one pretty okay game, so I'm interested to see what they'll do with more hardware. But hopefully it's good. At least it'll look cool.
Yeah.
The news story that I think Mina and I are probably the most excited for this month. We finally have a release date for Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. It is July 11th, 2017.
What a good time for it.
Yeah,
It's not in the way of anything.
Yeah, in the middle of summer where we usually have a bit of a drought. This was kind of Square's opening announcement during the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary event, which it seems is still going on. I thought that was kind of like a one-day thing, and they're like, oh, no, we still have plenty of stuff to announce. It's like, when, I guess? So I guess next month we'll talk about whatever else they announced, as long as it's, over by that point. But man, this game is looking super good. They released another trailer that's mostly some cutscene stuff, and that's basically what you want a Final Fantasy XII HD remaster to be. And I am still crossing my fingers that they have fixed the right stick controls. But if they haven't, I will just complain about it and play it again. But, So listen to this episode in, I guess, August, and we will talk about nothing but how awesome Final Fantasy XII still is.
Super excited for it.
And how much we still hate charging up the Sunstones. All right, I'm going to turn it...
a little bit off.
Yeah, just a little. I'm going to turn it over to Musim for Musim's Kickstarter Corner. That's Corner with a K.
Yeah, so everyone launched all their Kickstarters all at once this month. So let's see, what do we got? We got Banner Saga 3 and it was announced. The second one wasn't a Kickstarter. This one is the impression
pretty quickly too after the second one.
Yeah, they're making these games quick, but I'm guessing they just got their engine and they're just trying to finish their story now.
Yeah, I think they said this is the end of the trilogy, which I didn't realize it was, but that's pretty cool.
And I don't know how well the second one sold, but the second one came out seemingly really quick after the first one too, and so I'm skeptical the second one actually sold well. But anyway, they've already met their goal. They only wanted $200,000. But they got 31 days to go. They're at like 238,000. But I mean, if you want to get the game for the least expensive you can get it for, then you can back. That first game was great. I need to go back to it and beat it so I can play the second one. But
yeah, right now it's only $20, and it looks like you get for $40 you'll get all 3 games.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good on either Steam or GOG. So that seems like a pretty good price, especially with how new Banner Saga 2 is.
Yeah. But those are, you know, you want to be depressed for a while and send your guys to die and have kind of a Game of Thrones Oregon Trail thing going on.
Yeah, it's not
with
your feel-good title.
Tactics combat where your guys can permanently die, then yeah, actually it's Fire Emblem, Oregon Trail, and Game of Thrones all mashed into one. So, but it's a really cool game and aesthetic. But anyway, they also announced Pillars of Eternity 2 on Fig. That's the that's all the original Kickstarter games guys got together and made their own platform kind of thing. Double Fine's what was that they just kickstarted? Psychonauts.
Psychonauts 2, yeah.
They
I'm
did
so
that
excited for it. I can't believe I forgot it.
So, I mean, this is just the platform where you could, you know, give them $1,000 and then get profits on it later or something like that. But anyway, this one's already met its goal too. Like they wanted 1.1 million, and right now they're at 2.1 million. So
yeah, I went and looked, and I saw yesterday or the day before it was like, yeah, they met its goal. It's doing really well, and now it's at 191% of their goal. So
it's I guess a lot more people liked and played this game than I thought. But like the really cool thing about this storyline that I'm excited for is like in the first game you have this base. And you have this dungeon that's under your base that you kind of got to go through and deal with. And like as you're going down, someone had made this giant statue of a god thing under there. Well, the second one is evidently about that thing escaping.
That's awesome.
So like they showed like an animation thing for it in the trailer. But the thing that baffles me, so this launched the same time as the Apocalypse Now Kickstarter, which isn't doing so well. But they have several of the same staff members working on this game as Apocalypse Now. Why did they not fight people tooth and nail to run those at different times?
Right. Just delay them by like a week. That's all you really need.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Jeez.
But
well,
anywho,
that's Musum's Kickstarter corner. Thank you very much, Musum. You can toss a bunch of money towards both of those campaigns. Both of those games will probably be pretty good. Let's move. We don't have any tweets this month, so let's talk about emails. Chris H. writes in. He says, hey guys, Angel Eye here. How are you doing? Good? Hungry?
Hi.
Have any of you been interested in revisiting Fallout 4 now that modding is in full swing? This is very topical. I've been spending the last few days setting up my Fallout with my desired mods, and I've been having a blast even though I haven't really left the starting 2 towns yet. We'll catch you next month. Later, Chris.
How many mods are we talking?
I feel like this is just making a bad problem worse for really either one of you.
Yeah, it's been like I kind of check in with the Nexus every couple months to kind of see if they brought anything new to the Fallout mod world that might interest me, but I hadn't really seen anything beyond what I already have that I'd want to add to it. But I think my Fallout 4 mod selection, I think I just got like a dozen or so running on it, and it's mostly, you know, it's been so long, I don't necessarily remember.
Like
I remember I downloaded
management. And stuff.
Yeah. I don't think they have much in the management though. I think I downloaded like a thing that would let me delete extra things from the towns you're in. You know?
Just like stuff like
junk.
Like
get rid of this crappy debris that's in the ground, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
Make it look nicer.
Yeah.
Exactly. Since that game is evidently Minecraft to me.
Right.
Right.
But I don't know. I downloaded some. I know I downloaded some outfits. I like playing and dressing up my dolls. But like, because they had some Blizzard outfits that I downloaded that I thought were kind of neat for Fallout aesthetic. But
well, I think some of the problem is that I don't think, if I remember correctly, none of us really enjoyed Fallout 4 as much as we ever really did with Skyrim. Like Fallout 4 is fine, but Skyrim is really good.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if they've released the mod manager to work on Fallout 4 yet.
Oh, okay.
I think only Mod Organizer works on it right now.
The eternal debate.
I could be wrong. When are you going to chime in on this, Mina? You're the expert
deep in
here.
thought here.
I haven't actually looked into the Fallout 4 mods that much. I know I dabbled a little bit, but I quickly lost interest in Fallout 4 when one of my saves, like the very important save, got like corrupted, and that was
Oh.
the one that I had spent so many hours building up my fortress. I had like a special fortress that I kept all my companions at. It was the Red Rocket station or whatever. And I had built that thing like crazy. I think I had the mod that basically uncapped you on what you could build or whatever. Like it's like the highly risky, be careful what you're doing because you could mess up your file, and I probably messed up my file.
Yeah.
So, like, I quickly lost interest when that happened. But, I mean, depending on what type of mods are out there, I could see myself maybe trying that instead of trying to get my Skyrim thing fixed, because I don't know how interested I am in fixing it until SKSE is out.
Yeah.
So,
and Angel Eye is in chat and says Fallout 4 is supported on Mod Manager. And Tomain says always backups. So
Mod Organizer
is Mod Organizer the better one?
Yeah, Mod Organizer is the one I think it doesn't work on yet.
Mod Organizer is like there's reasons why Mod Organizer is better. I think I addressed it in one episode, but the long and the short of it is rather than overwriting files, which means if you ever uninstall something, you have to get like an original state of the file. But if you happen to have, like, let's say the original file, then an update from one mod, and then an update from another mod, when you try to retroactively go back, you have to retroactively go back and fix the mod that covered up the original mod.
Right.
Whereas Mod Organizer says, I know all of this, I'm just going to do it. And then you never really have that problem of, I need to remove this mod, and then everything just works.
Well, quick clarification to anyone new who may not know. All of these mods most of them come with self-installers. If you run the self-installer, it won't matter that you're using Mod Organizer or not. It's still going to write everything over. So don't do that.
Right.
But no. I opened up my mod manager thing here for Fallout 4 to see if there's anything interesting that jumped out at me. I'm by no means going to read this whole list, but just a couple of them. The Better Settlers one I like because it has settlers who are dressed for what role they are equipped with. They come in with weapons and things, so they're not completely defenseless if the place gets attacked or whatnot.
You don't have to fill them out with equipment of your own.
Yeah, exactly. There's immersive vendors, which actually puts merchandise on the vendor things that you can set up at your settlements.
Oh.
So that looks way better than just like some bored person at a wooden stand with nothing on it, you know? I think that if you do the true, like if you do any of the light mods, you got to beware. Like Fallout 4 gets real dark really quick, and it's just impossible to see your way at night. Like if you aren't careful with those. I was doing them for a while, but it was so unplayable at night that I just had to get rid of that one. But the storm ones look really good. I like the bright settlement one. I don't know that everything else on here is like aesthetic or stuff that if I had waited for the DLC to come out, they would have kind of added something similar anyway.
All that clicking I was doing was I was just taking a look. It looks like Mod Organizer for Fallout 4 is in beta right now. So looks like it is being actively developed according to the developer's GitHub repo.
That's what I care about.
Yeah. Seems like shortly. So, and I don't have Fallout 4 on PC. So I would have to resort to the PS4 mod system, which I'm sure is fine, but I wasn't crazy about Fallout 4, so I'm not going to go.
Well, they're not going to improve any textures or anything for you.
Yeah,
you know, so.
I mean, that's sort of the bummer of it, so.
But at the same time, that sounds kind of scary to attempt that on console where you have a finite machine that game was optimized for. Like,
sadly, though, the optimization on the PS4 version was not good. It was a lot of frame rate issues. I get the impression, to be fair, I get the impression that there have been a series of patches that have gotten it better, and I think there's a PS4 Pro patch out already, if not soon, that will sort of address some of those issues for Pro owners, but you want to play that on PC.
I was about to ask you, and I didn't want to start a debate here on it. Why did you buy it on
My video
not
card
PC?
sucks.
Ah,
I have
okay.
like a 760, so I'm
see.
like 300 versions behind what's out now. So
It's just my number one question to anybody who
Yeah.
buys a Bethesda game on console is, why did you not buy it on PC? Like, it's the first thing that comes to mind, and I don't
Yeah.
want to start an argument over it. It's just
no, I think it's a fair question, because my computer is really old and needs to be replaced, and I don't like my computer is up here in the office, and we hang out down in our living room, and I like spending time with my wife, so I'd rather play stuff on consoles where we can like hang out and play stuff. So
that makes sense.
So Steam Link.
that's the other
$50.
That's the other part. My wireless sucks here, so I'd have to like run a bunch of network wires, which we want to do anyway. But time.
Honestly, like Steam Link isn't. It's not super great with wireless anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of jarring whenever the connection kind of wanes, which it will occasionally.
Yeah, I meant to buy a Steam Link. I got an email from Valve. I think it was during like the Christmas sale where it's like, "Hey, Steam Link's $20. You want one?" I was just like, "Oh, that's kind of the right price." But then I remembered I have a laptop that I can stream with the in-home streaming, and that actually works pretty well. So, just do that.
If you ever go back to Fallout 4, I'd be interested in seeing if anyone made a mod to like fix all the optimization problems on the PS4.
Yeah, I should look into that. I'd be curious, as I wonder if I'd have an easier time if it was a smoother experience.
Yeah, it's a hard. Now, granted, I haven't browsed it on the console, but just even on PC, the Bethesda mod interface is really difficult for me to navigate, and maybe I'm just missing something really obvious, but it kind of navigates like Netflix, which I really, really don't like.
Yeah, jeez.
Not for mods, at least. Like Netflix is okay, but anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So Skyrim is one. I guess the takeaway is Skyrim is a large enough issue that Fallout 4 modding will have to wait, I guess. All right, that's all of our emails. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. And that's actually our episode. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com. Tweet us at pickinguppixels, no "the" in there. Email us, fans@pickingupthepixels.com. All the places you can find us and email us and contact us is all on the right-hand side of the page. Musum, where can we find you?
You can buy my music at musum.bandcamp.com, also on Amazon and iTunes. And check out my other podcast, The Carousel Podcast, also on all the services.
And Mina, what about you?
You can find me on Twitch or on YouTube at Mina KO Rocket.
And you can find my other show, That Video Game Podcast, at tvgp.tv. And I think that's it. So our adventure continues next month.
Bye.
Bye.
And thank you very much, everyone, for joining us live. I think this is the largest number of people we've had joining us here for this little show of ours, which we always appreciate. I can get rid of this light in my face so I can turn purple. And we will see you next month. If anyone wants to join us again, first Saturday of every month. Bye.